Hush Fund Elimination Act, Congressman Ron DeSantis, member of several key committees, including Foreign Affairs, Judiciary, Oversight, a member of the Freedom Caucus. And Congressman, first of all, congratulations. You're as good as your word. You said you would be doing this, introducing that legislation this week, and you have done so. And I think that the American people, let alone the folks who your constituents, are grateful to you for doing so. So good to have you with us.
Well, it's good to be here, Lou. I mean, just think about it. We have this issue, as you mentioned, with Matt Lauer, celebrities, other places. In the Congress right now, you actually have a system set up which tells potential perpetrators, hey, if you go ahead and harass somebody and you're guilty, the taxpayer will go ahead and clean up after you and pay for your damages. And guess what? We'll keep it secret so nobody will know about it. Well, what kind of a behavior are you trying to promote there? So we need to rip this system out root and branch. We need to expose the people who have violated the taxpayers' trust by using their dollars to shield their own misconduct. And we need to do it quick. And the thing is, Lou, this is a big bipartisan bill. You have people on both sides of the aisle who are fed up with this. So I think the momentum is with us, and it's just a matter of time. But I don't think we're going to be able to have the leadership say, oh, we got to hold a hearing or this or that. No, we need exposure now.
And you heard the speaker say that we had to have a comprehensive solution here. There had to be a careful accounting in order to reveal those names and the amounts of money that were paid out, taxpayer money. And the speaker acted with indifference and ambiguity as to the course he wants to follow, while you're putting forward legislation that is specific and direct and will correct the problem. Has he given you assurances that he will put every energy behind your legislation?
He's not, but in fairness, I haven't had a chance to brief him on it. We were working on the language. Thanksgiving was hard to do it, and so when we got back, we've been working on the language. We got 26 co-sponsors in 5 hours today. So we just dropped the bill today, and I'm definitely going to talk with them about it. I think that the public clearly wants this done. So I'm actually optimistic that we're going to be able to do it. But Lou, I mean, you have a right as a taxpayer to know how your money is being spent. The government can't have secret pots of spending money that they just dole out, and taxpayers have no right to see that. That is just completely unacceptable.
Congressman, did you know that such slush funds were available to you? Because I have to tell you, I did not know that they existed.
And here's the reason why. I researched it. It doesn't come up in our budget. It doesn't come up in the appropriations bills. What Congress does is they do a permanent appropriation. So they do one law and they say there's a pot of money there. Whenever you need it, go for it. So you can't even really defund it with the budget process because the money exists outside of the budget process. So there's no accountability, no oversight. So we got to eliminate all those secret funds for a variety of reasons. You know, Mueller, you and I have talked about the Mueller investigation.
Yes, we have.
He's using one of these permanent funds to fund his investigation. They're not funding it through the DOJ like they should do it. So that makes it harder for us to circumscribe the funding.
Wait a minute. The Justice Department is supposed to be the responsible department here with oversight of the special counsel.
They are. But
well, if they're not providing the money, they're sure to hell not.
Well, he has his own pot of money. What that means is that the Congress, we can't just defund it in a normal appropriations bill. We'd have to pass a special law. So there's a problem with these slush funds generally. I've asked my staff to research all slush funds that are out there across the government so that we can provide that information to the taxpayer and then close these funds down, because the only money government should be spending is the money that we are voting on as representatives every year during the appropriations process. It's transparent. You'll know where your money's going. And you don't have to worry about these secret hush funds.
You couldn't be more correct. And the American taxpayer couldn't be more misinformed, uninformed than we are right now, because I had no idea that is the way both the special counsel was being funded and these slush funds were in existence and being used so energetically by those who are trying to hide from the taxpayer, hide from accountability, and responsibility for their actions.
Well, and then you have the Conyers rule that we're trying to implement, where he's using his office budget, but he's camouflaging the settlement payment and saying that it's just an employee salary. So if you're his constituent, you look at how he's managing his office, you see, oh, he paid this woman for 4 months of employment. That wasn't what happened. He did it that way to hide the fact that it was a harassment settlement. So that's a gross abuse of taxpayer dollars as well, and that is even separate and apart from these slush funds.
You know, it's just stunning to think that Speaker Ryan, Majority Leader McConnell, have not already taken steps, instead of talking about a class on sexual harassment for the people who are writing laws about sexual harassment. I mean, are you kidding me? How dumb do they think the American people are? Well, they've gotten away with it to this point, so maybe they've got an argument that is far stronger on their side than I have. That is, I believe the American people are too smart to be treated this way, and we sure as hell need leaders who, like you, treat us with the respect we deserve and make the government transparent, open.
No, absolutely. And here's the thing. It'd be wrong for one of the leaders to try to protect some of these members who've had settlements, because when you're trying to protect them, what you're doing is you're harming all the other members who are behaving honestly, but the public's going to say, hey, the whole thing stinks. We think you're all bums. So the way you really defend your members is to insist on transparency so that there are some bums, they can go away to the buffalo, but then the rest of us can actually continue trying to drain this swamp. And we know that this thing needs to be drained.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I imagine that the first 15 minutes of that class that the leadership would have you attend, all of the members of Congress and the Senate, it would be 15 minutes on slush funds and their importance to the sustainability of the office that you've been elected to. I mean, it's outrageous what they're doing here. And I don't believe the American people are going to be patient. This is legislation that should be, in my judgment, passed and signed by the president before Christmas break. What do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. The people want it. Every indication I have from the White House is that the president is supportive of this.
Oh, absolutely.
I would like to brief him on it as soon as possible, and I'd love to get President Trump's support for what we're trying to do, because I think that could make all the difference and really put the House in a position where we have to act because the president's pushing for it and the public wants it.
Well, the House has acted and is doing so